All right. It's another edition of the Leo G Show. I am Leo G, man, and podcasting is what I do. We're back with a live edition, and we're very, very happy to bring this edition to you guys. When things transpired the way that they did on yesterday, I was like, yo, we got to jump in this. We got to talk about it, man. So yeah, we just gonna get right into it. But first and foremost, man, I got to bring my co-host. Um, So the first guy I'm bringing you tonight, man, because I'm really tripping off the. Well, I'm not tripping off the jersey. I see the throwback that you got on, man. I'm gonna throw it to my man, my partner. That want all of the ATL teams to do what they do, man. It's my boy Banks over there. What's going on with you, man?
What is going up, Leo G? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling all right, man. I'm feeling real good. We're gonna have a really, really good show to talk about tonight, man.
Let's roll with it, brother. I had to come off that high from yesterday, and man, I will get into it more in a few minutes.
Definitely, man. So look, I got my look. So this dude done took a hiatus for a minute, man, and he gonna have to take himself off mute. Um, but he been gone for a second, but he back with the show. And he's sitting up there. He kind of throwing it in our face, Banks. He's sitting up there with the MLK jersey on. I'm like, yo, man, what? Look at this dude here, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about this MLK jersey for a minute, and all of a sudden, this joker done found a way. You know what I'm saying, to get it. But, you know, there he is, man. My other partner in crime, man. My other PIC, man. My boy Derek over there, man, with the MLK jersey. What's going on with you, brother?
What's happening, Leo G? Sorry I had to bounce a couple of weeks. I was in some traveling mode, so I had to go spend a little time with the family. But I'm back to join you guys after a huge win last night by the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, absolutely, man. We're gonna get into it here in just a moment, man, and talk about them Hawks, man. So I just already. So if you're on YouTube, if you're watching the YouTube channel, man, shout out to all our subscribers on YouTube. Y'all know how we do it, man. We always, you know what I'm saying. You know, we wearing some Atlanta apparel as we usually do. I'm gonna go around the table in just a moment, but I just said, and I dropped what my man Derek is wearing tonight. Shout out to everybody that's also listening to the audio podcast as well. But first, I guess I'm gonna go to Banks. Banks, you got a throwback on, man. And I was sitting here like, damn, okay, he done went back with the throwback as well. So Banks, tell everybody what you got on.
Well, just walking the Roddy White throwback Falcons. I was feeling Roddy today. Just felt like, cause I ain't wore that in a while. Let's just go ahead and just try it out. Still looks good on me.
It does. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So now going over to my man Derico. Here he go, man. I've had several podcasts and talked about this jersey, man, and that I couldn't get my hands on. And like he said, he got his hands on it on the Nike.com, I guess, website or whatever. But so let everybody know what you got on. If they listening to the audio podcast, let everybody know what you got on.
That double one, so you know who that is. Ice Trey.
Ice Trader Gang. That's what's up, man. And we're going to get into it, man. You know, as soon as this, you know, we're dropping this episode after the first game of the Eastern Conference Final. Shout out to Atlanta Hawks. Last podcast, I was on with you, Banks. And Derico, you missed it. Jay joined us. All of a sudden, Jay came out of nowhere and joined us for a podcast, man. Jay.
Who was that?
Jay. Yes. The one of the OGs of the show, the original, you know what I'm saying, co-host Jay actually joined us for a podcast, and we talked NBA. And we did all NBA talking. You know how hard it is for me to do all NBA talk. But we did it. And it looks like we're going to do that tonight because it's a lot going on with the NBA now with the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals, man. So we're gonna do this, man. Derek, are you ready to do this?
Tell Jay stop avoiding me.
Jay, stop avoiding Derek. Banks, you ready to do this, man?
Man, I'm ready to do this, man. Let's hear it.
All right, man. So we're going to talk about it, man. NBA, ATL Sports, that's what we do. Our Atlanta Hawks. All right. So we coming off of game 1, Eastern Conference Finals. Atlanta Hawks against the Milwaukee Bucks up in Milwaukee. And it was something special. Man, this city is now a buzz, and this is something that we hadn't seen in a while. But Eastern Conference Finals game 1 in Milwaukee. Atlanta Hawks 116, Milwaukee Bucks 113. Oh, man. man. We talked about it. These Hawks have been rolling, and now we're in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they just took the first game of a 7-game series in Milwaukee from the Bucks Banks, what you got for me, brother?
Let me correct you, sir. You said we ain't seen this in a while. Dude, we ain't seen this ever. This is the first Eastern Conference Championship win for the Atlanta Hawks, sir. Let's get that straight. The first win.
Absolutely.
We've never seen this before. This is not no long time, nothing. The 60-win team didn't even do that.
Exactly, and we were there for the 60-win team, and when they got to the Eastern Conference Finals and we got swept, mopped up out of there by LeBron and the Cavaliers. And you know what? Let me go back. So I talked about everybody else's outfits. I can't find any Hawks gear in the city, so let me just double back really quick, and then we'll talk about Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I did get a hat, so this is the hat that I ordered to go with the MLK jersey that never came. So I am rocking my Outcast T-shirt, man. ATL Atlanta. Swats, College Park, East Point, man. I'm representing for all the metro areas of this city, man. Atlanta, stand up. Y'all know what it is, man. So that's what I'm doing tonight. But I do have my Hawks hat. I have several Hawks hats, but I can't get my hand on any Hawks jerseys, shirts, anything. So that's what I got on rocking tonight, man. So let's dissect and let's get into the Eastern Conference Finals Game 1, man, because it's a lot to talk about. So Derek O, man, like Banks just talked about, man, we are happy. We are happy about what we saw last night. Derek O, man, like Banks just said, the first win Eastern Conference Finals of all time, any Hawks team, man. Bruh, how big is that, man? How big is that?
Well, that's huge, especially like Banks was saying. Not only was it the first in franchise history, but your first one is on the road, the first game. That tells you everything that you need to know about the moxie, the spunk, the swag, whatever you want to call it, about this team. And it all starts with Nate, Coach Nate, who's gonna get that bag at the end of this run. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna get that bag. And our fearless point guard, number 11, Ice Trey. Those two guys right there are making sure that this squad is doing what they're doing, and I absolutely love it. And get John Collins his money.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that here in just a minute, man. So look, dude, like this is crazy because like you just said, Derek. So let's talk about it for a minute. We're into the playoffs now, Eastern Conference Finals. The Hawks have had to literally were the lowest seeded team in each round of the playoffs. So the first round we played the number 4 seed Knicks, right? Knicks have quote unquote home court advantage. We have to go up to New York. First game of the series, Madison Square Garden. We talked about the fans up in New York in Madison Square Garden. What do the Hawks do? Take game 1 in Madison Square Garden up in New York. Then we advance. I want to say it was in 6 against the Knicks and go into Philly. We move into the semifinals. Okay, I'm sorry. The Hawks took that in 5. My bad. See, look. Hawks took that in 5 against New York, moving to the semifinals against the Philadelphia 76ers. Derek, what's up?
Just so everybody know, they call that a gentleman's sweep.
Gentleman sweep with the 5. We felt a little bad for him, so I guess we gave him 1, right? So we go through New York. That was a lot to go through and digest, man. It was a lot of stuff, a lot of craziness that happened in New York, man. We talked about it in the previous podcast, man. The craziness of Madison Square Garden and the craziness of the Knicks fan base. You get through them, and then we get to the number 1 seeded Philadelphia 76ers, right? Philadelphia, we go up there, another rabid fan base, another place that was going to be hostile to play and crazy to play. What do? We go up there and take game 1 up there. Go up there and take game 1 in Philly. Crazy. End up closing them out in 7. It took us a little longer to do it, but we closed them out in 7. So we win game 1 and then go up there game 7. They force a game 7 and we beat them game 7 in Philly, right? Now we move on to Milwaukee. Banks, what's up? You got to unmute yourself before you talk. You know that. Right?
I'm so sorry. We just correct yourself is, again, we won game 1, game 5, and game 7. So we are road warriors. We won 6 games in these playoffs on the road. 6 games. I'm trying to figure out if any team have won so many off the rip. Like, I can't think of one. I think someone said the Knicks did it back in '94. I'm not certain on that, but yeah, 6-2 on the road.
The
Run
Lakers,
it.
That's what's up. The
Lakers did it
Lakers,
too.
the Lakers did it.
yeah, they only lost one game that year. They won the championship. I can't remember what year it was, but they only lost one game in the playoffs.
But they
Okay.
wasn't the lowest seed either. They didn't
Oh no no
start off
no.
game one on the road.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the lowest seed. But I'm just saying, as far as going on the road and winning, yeah, that team that only lost one game in the playoff.
Yeah. Um, like I said, this is what we're witnessing is still special in itself, man, because like I said, like you just said, Banks, the number 5 seed, like this is not we're not supposed to do this, man. And we'll talk about the national headlines and what the national media had to say about our Hawks, but we were supposed to be done. Literally supposed to be done back in this Knicks series. Nobody gave us a shot. And so what they're doing right now is special. And I make the joke, and I've talked to several people about this, man. We're playing with house money. Like literally, we were not supposed to be here. So everything now that we're doing is pretty much icing on the cake. So let's talk about game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, because we talked about the semifinals against Philly. I don't think we got a chance to talk about game 7 because we were going into game 7. We were going into game 6, if I'm not mistaken, Banks, on the last podcast. But we ended up closing that out. Nothing else to talk about with that series, right? So let's talk about the Bucks series now going into game 1, and now we'll go into game 2. As we record, game 2 will be played on Friday night, tomorrow night. That's why we had to jump in here and record this podcast really, really quickly. So, off the rip, let's talk about game 1, Eastern Conference Finals, and let's talk about the person that literally put this game on his back, Trae Young. Once again, like I said, Hawks 116-113 in Milwaukee. But the headline of this whole thing is Ice Trae. Ice Trae, number 11. The Ice Trae Young. I can't. It's Trae Young. The main story is Trae Young. Okay. 48 points. 48 points from Trae Young. Game 1 of this series. This dude literally came out. I mean, we've been watching Trae since he's been drafted here in Atlanta, right? We've been watching him, but this was the game he came out and said, you know what? Here I am. This is what I do. And I mean, no shame. We're gonna get into talking about everybody else who played a role in this game, but Trae carried this game, and Trae has been doing what we knew he's been doing all season. I'm gonna go to you first, Derico. Is this now? Can we now officially say that Trae Young, we can put him and we can ascend him into the category of all of the, not all stars, but superstars in this league? Can we now put him in the same breath with the LeBrons, with the Durants, with the Steph Currys, with the the beard? Can we now put him in that? Is it safe to put him in that category now after what we saw last night?
I mean, it was safe to say that last year, actually, if folks would have been paying attention. But you know how the national media has to, keep that vibe going because, hey, we only had like maybe 2 or 3 national TV games, so nobody really saw Trey, and everybody really ran with the narrative that he can't score, he's not a good shooter, he doesn't play defense. Came up with every kind of excuse to kind of not put him in that category with the superstars, even though he was in the top 5 in assists, top 10 in scoring, maybe. And then, he's not a good rebounder, so he's not going to be in the atmosphere of a big rebounder. But if you're still in the top 10 in double doubles as a point guard and you 5'11", and you doing that consistently and your team is winning, yes. Yes. Because that was the biggest knock. You couldn't win. But guess what? When Nate took over March 1 and he started letting Trey be Trey, everything just really began to really shoot off and take off. So yes, he's beyond a superstar at this point and is overdue.
Hey man, we've talked about this several times on this podcast, man. Like, for some reason, man, the national media is the the narrative is always crazy about things that happen in this city. I don't know why, but we've talked about this time. I don't need to be the dead horse of death, fellas. We talked about why the national media just does. I think I heard today on Sports Talk Radio here in Atlanta, like, national media, like literally, and this has just been a recurring theme, and I hate to say this, but the only time they pay attention to us is when we do something on the crazier part, right? When we're on the other end of history. Like they don't want to talk about when we really, really do good. They don't want to talk about it. So Banks, I'm gonna kick it over to you now. Is Trae Young now in that category of superstardom? I don't know if I just made a word or not, but is Trae Young now a superstar in this league? Is he now?
Yes, and 1,000 yeses. Let me tell you something. This man came into the league with already of a narrative that he was going to be a bust. He was at Oklahoma and he was tormented by the crowds in college, calling him overrated. He was too short, all kinds of different just slander. They even talk about his hair. I mean, they still talking about his hair now. Like, what that has to do about his game? Okay, he has straight, thin hair. Okay, who cares? He's still cooking you. So what I look at it as, the narrative coming out of college into the draft and, with the trade with Luka with Dallas. So it was already a knock on him because they already put Luka ahead of Trae Young. So yeah, that kind of canceled him out. You're not a superstar. They wanted to say that Atlanta lost the trade. So they had to build up Luka, tear down Trae. So now you're looking at it. The trade now looks more like Atlanta won that trade. Not to say Luka's a bad person, but you see what's going on in Dallas right now. They're looking for a new GM. They're looking for a new head coach. They got Porzingis and his feelings now. So I don't know what's going on over there in Dallas country. I can care less. But Trae Young doing here in ATL, he is made for this. This is what he came here to do.
Man, look, Banks, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna be the first person, and we talked about this a little bit off air, man. I'm gonna be the first person to come out and say that, I felt some type of way initially and early on about this whole Trae Young situation and Luka Doncic. I haven't been shy about how I feel about the NBA, right? Because of the way the Hawks franchise have traditionally been. We all have talked about how the NBA is and how kind of biased it is to superstars in this league. And if you don't have a superstar, you don't get any love. And I feel like, bringing Trae Young in here into this organization, I was like, what is this really going to do? What are we really trying to do? Because the hype was on Luka Doncic, Banks. It was on Luka Doncic. We end up sending him there, and we end up getting Trae. And initially, I'm not going to lie, and I think all of us kind of had a little intrepidation going into it and was saying, oh, Trae, and what's going on? Because there's so much hype and so much build up on Luka. I did. I'm not going to lie. I did. I know Derek was making all these faces. I did. I'm not going to lie. I was trying to figure it all out. But now that it's all said, I'm man enough to say, you know what? We got it right. And the reason I'm saying we got it right, the reason I'm saying that Travis Schlenk and the Hawks organization got it right is because Trae Young embodies this city. And we've talked about this low key about who fits the profile of being here in this city. And I think that looking at the playoffs now, just looking at this whole season now, we see Trae and we've seen what he does. Trae has embodied Atlanta. He has. What we are as a city and who we are, Trae has put that on his shoulders. And I'm going to talk about that just a little bit in this playoff game. I'm going to kick it over to you, Derrico, first. And I want you to tell me how you felt about what you saw last night. So, just to relive a moment of the game last night, Trae Young dropping 48 points in the Eastern Conference Finals. There was a moment in the game, I think it was the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. It was third quarter, second quarter, I can't remember. I have to go back and look at it. But there was a moment in the game where Trae Young had an opportunity for a three, a wide open three. He backs up and he's behind the three-point line. And like Banks, we talked about this earlier, he had time enough to make a sandwich back there. Nobody came to defend him. And as he takes the three-point shot, he kind of shimmies his shoulders and drops a three like what? I mean, if that ain't ATL, I don't know what is, man. Derek, I'm gonna go to you first. This dude here is now the face of the Atlanta franchise, man. And now he has last night he put it on his back. How did you feel when you saw that last night, man? Because that sent chills up my spine, man. I was like, this dude here is the man now.
I'm feeling some chills right now, but I gotta go before he did the shimmy. How he shook the all-time defender of the year, whatever his name is, over there in Milwaukee, Mister Rule J Rule. What's the guy's name? Terrell, whatever his name
It's
is.
Drew Holiday.
Drew
Drew
Holiday.
Drew
Holiday.
Holiday. Drew
I
Holiday.
mean, when you just straight up just shake a dude out his jock strap, I don't think they wear those in basketball. But if you saw it on the court, you knew exactly what was about to happen. And then he kind of did that and warm up and take that shot and hit nothing but the bottom of the net. You saw Drew Holiday didn't even come back over to try to get back in the picture because he knew exactly what was about to happen. So when I saw it, the only thing I could do was this right here. Wow. Straight got him. That's all you can
Banks,
say. Got him.
Banks, Banks. We don't get me wrong. We've had some superstars come through this city, man, on all of our professional platforms. But since we're talking about the coming out of Trae Young, man, and what he means to this city and what he means to this franchise now, and how we talk about so much, the NBA is a superstar-driven league. Did that not when Trae did what he did he just literally say, you know what, you gonna know who I am, you gonna know what I do? I was listening to Marv Albert last night. Shout out to Marv Albert, Reggie Miller. They called the game last night, and it was just special to listen to Marv Albert talk about it, man, and listen to him call the play-by-play with Trae. This was it, right, Banks? I mean, this is now the superstar we've been looking for the Atlanta Hawks, right?
This is it. Let me tell you something. I kept rewatching that play over and over and over again. Reggie Miller said, "Oh, no, you didn't." And that's what I'm going to call that play. "Oh, no, you didn't." Drew Holiday was crossed up at the perimeter, and he just kept walking. He didn't even bother to come back and check Trae. He walked away like I couldn't believe it. Trae was out there all by himself. He could have did some jumping jacks, but he just popped a shimmy on him. And then he still kind of waited, and then he released, and it went all net. When it happened, Leo, it was like a moment to the point where I was like, damn, that's it. And let me back up a little bit more with that. That's just the tip of the iceberg. When he did to New York, when they gave the Knicks the standing ovation and to see their team well and everything, and oh, by the way, here's a three on my way out the door, and took a bow. That there is the most savage moment in Atlanta sports history. Like, I don't think any other player, I was trying to think in my head, anybody in Atlanta has done anything closely to be savage. Then you follow up with "oh no, you didn't" with the shimmy, and hold on, I'm not done. Then you did another play when you threw the ball off the backboard and Collins came in with the dunk. I mean, who does that? Who does that in the Eastern Conference Finals on that stage? Like, you're toying with them. And that right there, can you imagine if they done that at State Farm Arena? What would the crowd be doing?
God. I don't know, man, because I can't get in the State Farm Arena because they done priced all of us out. But I digress. So listen, so I go to talk about it. So Trae has put in this, like, he's putting on his back, man. He is now that guy. We've been talking about this and we've been wanting this for a while, and I'm so glad that Trae is coming into his own. And I don't know where this is gonna go, but it can only go up from here, man, because he's young, 23-year-old cat here. He's not a man here in Atlanta. This is it, man. 22? Is he 20? How old is he, Derrico? He's 22. Okay, I'm sorry. He's 22. 22, going on 23, whatever. Yeah, 22-year-old, man. And I mean, like, so now he is the face of the franchise here. And we have not, let me say this much. We go back to the 60 game season a couple of years ago when, ironically, Coach Bud was the coach here, and we didn't have a face of the franchise then. We haven't had a face of the franchise here in Atlanta for over probably 2 decades. Or 3 decades. The last time we actually had a face of the franchise, man, we were very, very much young. I didn't have any gray in my beard. And this guy now is the face of the franchise here in Atlanta. I want to talk about a couple other players here that actually helped out in a major way in that game last night. First player I'm gonna talk about in Banks, so I'm gonna kick it over to you, John Collins. John Collins, we've held him. We've held him up. It was like, hey man, you know what, dude, you got to come through. You in a contract, you want max money. Hey, we need you to come through. And last night, game 1, like you just said, off the backboard, dunk. Last series, dunk on Joel Embiid, Indy face on Joel Embiid.
On his head.
And let me say, he went ahead and put it on a T-shirt.
On a
This
T-shirt.
man put it on a T-shirt and went to a press conference. Like another savage move. Like
Savage
who does
move.
this? Like who is
Savage
this team
move.
and where do they come from? Because it's
So
sure
John-
not an Atlanta team.
Oh,
So Banks, I'm gonna kick it to you, man. John Collins, this man is. We asked of him because he's trying to get max money. And last night, man, this dude, I watched him step back and hit a critical 3-point shot to keep us in that game. But it basically led us up to winning the game. You know what I'm saying? All of what Trey did, but what John Collins did last night actually helped us win this game. How do you feel about John Collins and how he was able to help us get over?
As much as I gave John Collins all flack, coming into this playoffs, he's got to pull his weight to be, considered a max contract guy. He's constantly been saving our ass. I mean, slick. He's been hitting clutch shots. I don't know what you want to call that. A choke hole slam. I mean, I don't know what that was because Embiid sure hell found out. And then he put it on the shirt. So I've been trying my best to figure out what can we get, to replace that position. Shame on me. I was really about to give up on him. This man is constantly being a Robin to Trae Young, and what he's doing everything we ask him to do. He's not the most powerful guy in the world. I would like for him to have some kind of a upper body so he can yam it more often. But he's done enough to where I was like, yes, give him his money. And he's, like I said, Leo, he's been saving our asses. Even back to the Philly series, he's been hitting some clutch shots and
rebounding
and rebounding. Defense. I mean,
absolutely.
Did he have like 15 rebounds in game 1 or something like that?
Absolutely.
And then Capella had 19. I mean, 19, 15. That's 34 rebounds. I mean,
we don't even want to talk about how much Clint Capella has meant to this team. And I didn't see a lot of Clint when he was in Houston, but he has seemingly been like an unsung hero here. He's the rim protector that we needed. Like, he was a missing piece, and this dude has been coming up clutch too. Capella is Banks. What's up?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Leo, but I think all three of us need to get a GoFund page for Houston, the city of Houston, and collect money as a thank you for Clint Capella, because basically what they did was just give them to us. We didn't give up nothing hardly for them. They just say, okay, we're going small. You want Capella, you can have Capella. Oh, well, thank you. So yeah, we need to give them some kind of a gift basket. Or, something. Yeah. I mean, that was straight robbery.
Exactly. So Banks, last night, man, Capella had 19 rebounds. John Collins had 15 rebounds. Trae Young had 7. Yeah. John Collins and Clint Capella showed out, man. It's crazy. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Derek. We're going to kind of move forward here and just talk a little bit more about some of the other players here with the Hawks. John Collins, Derek, how do you feel about his performance last night? And is he coming around now and really demanding that high dollar value that's going to come up here in just a moment?
I absolutely feel that way. I had one moment where I was like, oh, I don't know, John. That first series, he was like, oh, he wasn't doing what I needed him to do against the Knicks, but then he got it cooking. And then in the Sixers series, it came back cooking. So I'm like, okay, okay. And then the first game last night just solidified it for me at the press conference. And it was just something that didn't even have to do with the game per se. It's what he said at the press conference about the chemistry between he and Trey Young. And that's all that matters right now is the fact that he knows that he and Trey Young has chemistry that nobody else on the team have. And he said they don't even have to say anything to each other. And he knows his role. And that's a good thing about it. He's not asked to go out there and score 25, 30 points a game. He's asked to go out there and make sure that he's defending, that he's cleaning the boards. And when I need you to make a shot, you better hit it.
You're making it. And here's the thing, man. Like, all of a sudden, man, this team is all in. We've heard Trey say this in press conferences. We've heard John Collins. We've listened to Nate McMillan talk about this in press conferences, man. These guys are all in. You rarely see this in the NBA where you have a group of men that are all in with each other, right? Trey said, last night, and we'll talk about the national narrative here in just a moment, but there was a time I think they were interviewing Trey last night and they were talking about all the weapons that the Bucks had, and Trey was like, "Hey, we got weapons too. We got weapons too." These guys are all in on each other. I don't know where this camaraderie came from. It may have been there all along. We just didn't know it. But these guys trust in each other. They believe in each other. We know that we had a new coach to come in, and Nate McMillan. I don't know if he had a lot to do with the bond that these guys have, but to see them play together like they are, Trey is leading by example. See, one thing about it is that Trey is leading by example. And these guys are like, hey, man, this dude, like you said, Banks, this 5'11", 170-pound soaking wet guy is giving it to us every night. When you see somebody leading like that by example, you can't help but to fall in line and do what they do. This is something crazy. This is something special that I haven't seen from a Hawks team. Because remember, we talked about this. I just said it. Nobody wanted to be that guy. Nobody wanted to be the dude to take the shot. Nobody wanted to be the guy at the free throw line when everything was on the line. We haven't seen a guy with kahunas like that in a long time. Trey's put that on his back. I think now we're seeing somebody that has finally said, you know what, this is my team. I'm putting Atlanta on my chest. I put MLK on my chest. I put the Hawks on my chest. And let's do this. And everybody else is falling in line. And like you said, Banks, John Collins was the guy that was on the fence. Now he's able to play his role, and the chemistry is there. Banks, what's up?
Well, I don't think I see Ben Simmons on our rosters anywhere. So, yeah, he's going to come through. A special shout out to what you said, the camaraderie with the team. It didn't just stop at Trey and John Collins and Clint Capella. We got a guy named Kevin Herter, or Red Velvet.
Red
or
Velvet.
You want to call
Red
him.
Velvet. Shaq still won't call another grown man Red Velvet.
Well, listen, we'll call him what you want. All I know is he's cooking brothers out there, bro. He doesn't look like anything that looks remotely close to a basketball player. This man has been saving our butts as well. And quiet as is kept, he's making a name for himself as well. No one knew who he was until Game 7 of last series. So it's coming all together, Leo, slowly but surely. But, we all wanted this for this team. We all wanted this for the roster of Atlanta Hawks to be recognized as an NBA team.
And I'm gonna give it over here to Derrico, man, because like I said, man, Bogdanovich, Solomon Hill, Danilo, everybody has been playing and showing up in some way, form, or fashion, man. I watched Solomon Hill show up last night, big for us. Of course, we just talked about Clint Capella. We watched everybody is playing, dude, and it's something that we haven't seen from a Hawks team. Period.
Don't forget Lemon Pepper Lou Will.
Lemon Pepper Lou coming off the bench. A Kongu when he's come off the bench to kind of spell Capella. I mean, everybody is doing what they have all bought in. So I guess I'm gonna bring this over to you, Derek Cole, and let you kind of give your spin on this. Everybody is playing for one another. I'm gonna ask you this: how much can we put this on Nate McMillan? Right, coming in, taking over this squad when he took over, and now we're where we are now. Can we put a lot of this on Nate McMillan? Did he actually really kind of do this?
I'm gonna give a 10% to the other guy because he set it up. He teed it up. That's why I'm giving 10% because he teed it up for Nate to come in because he absolutely whatever he did to destroy that team, he absolutely must have tried to do it with the naysaying, with the dogging out your star player to other coaches, all that mess. So yes, without a doubt, Nate McMillan saw what was going on and said, I'm not going to repeat this mess that my predecessor put out there. So he absolutely turned the culture around in that locker room. He gave Trey the freedom to be Trey. He emboldened everybody else on the team to say, hey, you have a role, you have a role, you have a role, play your role. We play as a team, we play together. There's no little I's and no big U's, and we'll play together as a team and we can win. I just need you to play defense. I need you to play defense. I need you to play more defense, and I need you to be more responsible in the fourth quarter because that was the quarter that was killing us is the fourth quarter. So if you see the turnaround in the fourth quarter under Nate, that'll tell you everything that you need to know about what he told that team.
Man, absolutely, absolutely. So look, man, I'm gonna go a little bit away from just talking about the Eastern Conference Finals for a moment. I just want to talk about the team, and we've built up to this just in general. But this is a young team, okay, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about we're not even playing at full capacity. We know injuries happen in the NBA. We're not even playing full complement right now, man. We're missing one of our best defenders, one of our best wing defenders, DeAndre Hunter. Cam Reddish has just come back to be available for us. So we're not even playing on full throttle. So really, really quickly, I want to talk about the Hawks now being an upper echelon team in the NBA. And that's going to segue us into talking about the playoffs as a whole, because not to get too far off, we'll talk about it in just a moment. Apparently there's been some rumblings around. I don't know who talks about this stuff, or like this is just disappointing for the NBA to see the playoffs right now with the teams that are in it. Oh God, it got the Bucks, the Hawks, the Suns, the Clippers. Who did this? Who wants to see this crap? But long story short, we'll get into that in just a moment. So, Derek, I'm gonna come to you first with this. This young team, this young Hawks team, are we now going to start seeing them get some respect in this league? Because, like I said, we know this is a superstar-driven league. We know that this is a league where you have to get put on that pedestal in order to get respect. We've seen what has happened with these super teams, and I'm going to go play with who I want to go play for, and I'm going to buy me a championship. Can we now finally put the Hawks in this category now to say, okay, you know what? Hawks are on this in this upper echelon of NBA teams that we can now say is a part of what we want.
When you enter the playoffs as a 5 seed, when you started the season 14-20, and now you're in the Eastern Conference Final, and you have a bona fide superstar, yes, and you did it the right way. They always talk about doing it the right way. You did it the right way. You built most of this team through the draft, and you supplemented through free agency. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no big name free agent. You wasn't out there recruiting the top free agent out there. You went and got people that you knew that would fit the culture.
Really, really, really quickly, I'm gonna let you finish up there, Cole. How big was it? how big? Well, because we know what can happen in free agency in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me, damn it, man, how big was it for Travis Schlenk, man? Because this right now we're looking at this like as being the boss move ever. You get a Bogdan Bogdanovic and a Danilo Gallinari to come in. We knew these guys were special. We knew these guys were good, but it almost looks like this right now, with bringing them guys in. This looks like this was the best move ever.
Sacramento, and Banks, you mentioned the fact that we got that other cat, from Houston for nothing. Nah, we got Bogey for nothing. Even though he's kind of hurt right now, but Sacramento probably is kicking themselves in the butthole every night they see this dude on the Hawks. He will. The thing about it, guess who else wanted Bogey? The team we playing.
Milwaukee.
Exactly. The team that we playing right now. So yes, Slink is doing his thing, and I like it. He's taking that same mentality that he learned from Golden State. Everybody think Golden State was just a juggernaut. No, they built that team through the draft. So when the people are talking about, oh, we don't want to see these teams, well, nobody knew who Golden State was. Nobody knew who Steph Curry was. Nobody knew who Klay Thompson was. Nobody knew who Draymond Green was until when? Until they started making some noise in the playoffs. So don't give me that
Absolutely.
crap about what they don't want to see. No, the problem is your team is not playing. That's the problem.
That's it. That's it. Because I don't even want to dig into, you know what I'm saying? If you just said it, Derek, I don't even want to dig into the whole Golden State thing, man. Because to be honest with you, like you said, when Steph first got to Golden State, that didn't look like what we saw. It didn't. He was hurt. He was injured. They were about to write his ass off, to be honest. But I digress. I want to go to Banks now so he can jump in and talk about this. Banks, this is us now. This is here with this team. I just kind of piggyback on this, man, and then we're gonna move forward here. How do you feel, man, about how this team is? This team now the upper echelon? Can we now put them up there and say, "Hey, this is the Hawks. We can feature them. We can put them on some damn commercials. We can actually say this is one of our premier teams."
I think it's up to the league now at this point. How uncomfortable the media has been talking about the Hawks throughout this playoffs. If you watch carefully, they have nothing else to say. They have no other narrative. They're running out of excuses. They're just to the point where they just say, "Oh, wow, I had no idea the Hawks were this good." Like, they are afraid to say they were wrong. Just say you were wrong about this Hawks team and bite it, eat it, burp it up, and just say they're here. But they still trying to find something else to tear us down with. Listen, the sky's the limit for this team. Okay, Trae Young is here to stay. Like you say, he's 22 years old. You got guys like Hunter, you got Herter, you got Cam Reddish, the core. They're here. They're young. So they're not going anywhere. You got a coach in Nate McMillan. They believe in this guy. Okay. So it's all about what the league if they can stomach the fact that they were wrong. Because see, we can be on 9, 10, 11 national televised games just on Trae alone. But as you can see this year here, the season right here, we had an all-star game here in Atlanta and Trae Young wasn't even invited. That's a travesty. You have the TNT headquarters here in Atlanta, and they refuse to show the Atlanta Hawks. There's a problem. This is our league's problem. Now they're looking around, kicking themselves in the butt, saying a top 7 market in Atlanta has a basketball team, and we slept on them. Now it's time for some damage control. Get this guy into the All-Star game from here on out. And let me tell you something. Atlanta Hawks will be on national televised, and they will be shown on TV. Period.
And look, Banks, and that's why I said that Trae Young has embodied this city. Trae Young has embodied this city. I can recall going back 92, 93. Yeah, if you young and you listening to this podcast, yeah, it's 92, 93 hours around. And I go back, and you guys can follow me on this here, man. There was a time where there was something called hip hop that wasn't really respected in the South. right? It wasn't respected in the South. We had a lot of hip hop artists here in the South. And I remember Source Awards going back to 93. There was a young group that won Best Hip Hop Group of the Year at the Source Awards. I remember a young Andre 3000 from Outkast walking up to that podium and saying, the South got something to say.
Classic.
And damn it, if Trey Young has not, by his play, not by his mouth, by his play, has said the South has got something to say. Whether or not you don't like Atlanta, you can have whatever feeling you want to feel about it, man. But Trey Young has taken this NBA franchise here in this city of Atlanta and literally said the South has had something to say. I don't care what we do from here on out. Of course, obviously, I want this team to do great, but Trey Young has helped this whole entire team scream from the top and say, hey, we are here. We are the Hawks. We have something to say. Start putting us where we belong, Banks. Derrico, start putting us where we belong, okay? And that segues me in to what the next thing I want to talk about before we wrap this thing up. There are a lot of people that are in their feelings about the playoffs this year, okay? We just came off of COVID. I understand, we had the bubble. The Lakers won in the bubble last year, 2020. But now let's talk about what's going on right now. And I'm going to get a little passionate about this, man, because this is how I feel about the NBA. And this is what I want to talk about. And this is why I'm feeling like now the NBA is going somewhere that I want to see it go as a fan. Okay? We got a lot of people that are a little salty or in their feelings because of the teams that are left right now. And I'm going there. I don't go there a lot on this show because I try to be PC, but I'm going there tonight.
Talk with your chest.
Okay? I'm going to say it with my chest. And I'm going to kick it over to you, Derrico, in just a minute, but I'm going to get on my soapbox. I'm going to stand on my soapbox right now. Okay? We got the Atlanta Hawks. We got the Milwaukee Bucks. We got the Phoenix Suns. And we got the Los Angeles Clippers that are left, the teams that are standing that are left. And listen, NBA fans, I know these aren't the sexiest teams left. I know your LeBrons and your Beards and your Durants and whoever else you love are not in the playoffs, are not in the finals, but this is what you got, okay? This is a new era. These teams are now stepping up. This is a young Phoenix Suns squad. This is a young Atlanta Hawks squad. This is a young Milwaukee Bucks squad. This is a changing of the guard. This is something that you NBA fans need to get used to. And Lakers fans, I'm talking to y'all, Knicks fans, Celtics fans, whatever, because it's here now. It's a new NBA, and I think this is started now. Derrico, I'm going to kick it over to you. It's a lot of salty NBA fans right now. But this is what we're seeing now, and they're going to have to get used to this. This ain't your dad's or your granddad's NBA no more, where we going to see the Lakers and the Celtics and whoever just run this.
Preach. I thought you was going to start hooping. But that's what I'm talking about. Say it with the chest for all them haters that are used to seeing everything like it used to be. Them days is done, son. Like I don't see too many more super teams evolving. I think you have some cats that want to start their franchises like the Trey Youngs of the world. They're gonna say, "Hey, I want to be the one to lift this franchise from the dust up into the atmosphere where we can all ride together on one canopy, flying carpet, whatever you want to call it." But them bronze, KDs, the Beards, all them folks, I mean, good run. But you got some Bookers, you got some Mitchells, you got some Lucas, you got some
Some
Youngs,
Aitons.
some
Some
Aitons,
Aitons.
Aitons.
Even I'm going to go ahead and say it. Giannis, some Giannis.
You got Giannis, even the dude from the Sixers, Mr. Crybaby MB. I was gonna say his other name, but I'm gonna be clean tonight. So yes, move over. I mean, it's time for everybody to understand that the NBA is not just three or four franchises. If that's the case, they wouldn't have 30 teams. If they just wanted four teams in the NBA, that's what they would have left it at. So excuse me if your favorite team is sitting home watching Charles Barkley, Kenny, Ernie, just like we are,
And Shaq,
and
exactly.
the Diesel. So
Banks,
pull over.
Banks, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna let you get up on this soapbox for a minute. Go ahead.
Well, listen, I'm not about to sit here and have some kind of anger coming out of my ears like y'all too. But I will say this. The NBA is taught a lesson this year, man. What I see is all the so-called past stars are out the playoffs. Take a look. Look who's left. You got your Bookers, you got your Aitons, you got your Trey Youngs, you got your Giannis. You had Kawhi, but he's hurt. So look who's left. Look who now they're featuring. This is a changing of the guard, like you said. This is just the beginning. And think about all the rest of the young cats, like your cat in Memphis. You know, John Morant. John Morant
Luka
is going.
Doncic,
He's
Ja.
going to come up. He's going to come up.
Ja,
So
absolutely.
once this transition happened, and then if maybe just maybe everyone
Ant
stay
Man.
where the hell they at. Well,
Ant
yeah,
Man, and
Ant
can't
Man.
forget about Ant Man in
Listen,
Minnesota.
everyone stay where the hell where they at. And maybe this will be a parody where it'll be a different team every year. Instead of the same team for the past 10 years is the same person in the finals. Who watches this mess? Like this is not it's about the ratings. It's about the ratings. What ratings? Dude, only people are watching is people in California and
I'm gonna say
in the major markets. Like if you talk about places like Milwaukee and Atlanta and Phoenix and I guess LA, it's going to be the same ratings. So I mean, listen, this is a brand new day. Okay, I guarantee you, as I'm sitting here talking to you, that Trey Young alone is bringing in eyes on the TV sets. You best believe that. You best believe
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Derek, I'm going to kick it to you in just a second here, man, because we're going to try to close this thing out. I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that we're finally seeing some parity in the NBA that I've always wanted to see. I mean, we have grown up watching the NBA where there was not much parity. Think about it, fellas. If you really want to be honest about this, man, we've literally seen, I want to say, 4 teams in our lifetime dominate an NBA. We've literally, I can say that much. I mean, we can go back. I mean, it's probably somebody that's going to come out and dispute it, but literally since I've been alive, I can say I've seen 4, maybe 4, possibly 5 teams in my lifetime dominate the NBA that you literally saw every year was like, okay, you know what, this is over. These teams are going to dominate. It's been the Boston Celtics. Well, I'm sorry. First, it was LA Lakers in the 80s. You know, Showtime Lakers when I was young. Then we saw the Boston Celtics come back around, who's won multiple championships. Then through the 90s, we saw the Bulls dominate and win 6 championships. Then we saw it come back around to see the Lakers come back and win several championships. Pistons got a couple in here and there. The Spurs came and got a couple here and there. But there's only been a couple of teams that win championships. This is what I want to see now with the NBA. This is what's going to bring me back as a fan to sit up here and say, hey, let me take notice. Let me see these young players. I put it on the league to say, hey, let's get these guys in position to carry these franchises and to say, hey, we can do this. I don't need to link up with 3 or 4 other guys to make this super team, man. Let's all get at each other and let's challenge it and let's make it competitive for the whole league. Let's put some parity in this and let's make fans of Memphis. Let's make fans of Orlando. Let's make fans of Sacramento be proud when we get these players that compete and say, hey, we got a chance. We got a chance to see our team compete on this level for a championship. Because I guarantee you right now, there are fans of teams in other cities that's watching Milwaukee and Atlanta and Phoenix and the Clippers say, hey, you know what? We can get some guys in here and we can have an opportunity in the shot. Just because we're not the purple and gold or the green and white or the whatever, we can have a shot. Derek Cole, what's going on? We're gonna move forward.
Oh, I was just gonna mention that when Banks was talking about the viewership. it actually went up a lot from the bubble this playoffs. You would think that when it was during the playoffs in the bubble when everybody was supposedly home, that the ratings would have been stellar. But even the playoffs right now have taken a higher level of viewership than the bubble. So nobody can sit here and talk about, oh, nobody want to watch. That's a lie. They watching.
Banks, really quickly, man. I'm
Well,
gonna give it to you, man, and we're gonna move. We're gonna move forward.
let me tell you why the reason is that is we just said it. It's a brand new blood. It's intriguing to see four new teams in there for a change without Steph Curry or LeBron James or or KD. It's refreshing to know that it's going to be a new champion this year. Whoever it is, it's going to be a brand new champion, and it's not named LeBron James or not named Steph Curry or KD or Kawhi. It's going to be a brand new team, and I think people are intrigued about it.
All right, man. Really, really quickly, man. We're gonna wrap this up, man. And I'm gonna have to get on my soapbox again, man. And I'm gonna have to really get out of my comfort zone and say some of the things. I'm gonna have to just break this down here, and I'm gonna let you guys get on your soapbox as well. I know Banks was kind of a little reserved on it on the last soapbox edition, but I'm gonna get on my soapbox right now and say some stuff that I need to say about this city and about the fans here in this city. I know I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna let you guys have it before we wrap this up. Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals, people. All right. We're fans of Banks, Derek Cole, and myself are fans of this city. We represent everything Atlanta. We've said this time and time and time again. We represent everything Atlanta. Now, there's a portion of some of these fan bases that claim to be bigger than this, or they want to jump on with this, and I'm with them, and I don't know about that, or I'm from here, and I'm stepping on some toes now because I'm gonna say I'm a fan of this team, but I can't be a fan of that team. I'm here in Atlanta. I can't be a fan of this team, but I'm gonna be a fan of that team. But if this team over here is doing well, I'm gonna get in my feelings because it's taken away from the team that I love. I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm gonna pass it to you guys. This city, man, we've gotten a bad rep as a sports town. And I'm gonna tell a lot of people here in this city, man, if you're a fan of Atlanta, if you're a fan of Atlanta sports teams, man, we all on the same page. Okay? I know a lot of people got in their feelings about what happened with the Falcons a couple of years ago in that Super Bowl. Get out your feelings, either stay with them or get gone. Okay? If you're a Braves fan and you unhappy about, either stay with them or get gone. Okay? If you're an Atlanta United fan and you love Atlanta United and that's your number one team, okay, fine. But know that there are other teams in this city and other franchises in this city that are doing well. Okay? Ain't nobody trying to steal no thunder from you. Everybody has time to shine in this city. Okay? Everybody. The Hawks are doing well right now, man. There shouldn't be no animosity. I don't care if you are not a fan of the Hawks. There shouldn't be any animosity, man. We are a city, and a lot of people represent all of the teams in this city. And hey, if you in your feelings, you in your feelings. Keep that to yourself, man. But there are a lot of people in this city, man, that go hard for all the teams. I'm proud of my Hawks. We not putting and put like this here. If a team in this city isn't doing well, if a team in this city is doing well, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna praise them. If a team in this city isn't doing well, we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk about how disappointed we are in this team. Okay, we're gonna keep this on an even playing field. I'm just saying that as a fan of all the teams in this city, and as a sports fan in general. I'm a sports fan in general. Baseball, basketball, soccer, football. I'm there. So let's keep it real about it when it comes to these teams in this city, man. And I know you guys, I'm gonna kick it to you guys, and we're gonna get off of here, man. I want to stand on my soapbox a little bit. We are up on all these teams, man. We want to see all these teams do well, all this animosity and bickering that we got. Yeah, I said it, all this animosity and bickering that we got going on between certain fan bases and people being in their feelings about another team doing better than this team, or I want to see. Well, we need to stop all that, man. Derek, I'm gonna give it to you first. Tell me how you feel about this.
Hey, my brother, you just said a mouthful for me and the other folks in the back there. So the only thing that I'm gonna say to kind of piggyback on that, look at me when I say this. Atlanta is a city that's too busy to hate.
Banks, hey, that pretty much summed it up, man. Banks, go ahead, man. Tell me how you feel about it when it comes down to everything, man.
I've never seen where fan bases are turning to like a civil war within the city. Like that is so retarded to me. I don't understand why a fan base of a sport is better than the next. Like you said, we're representing the same city. There's no north side versus south side. There's no east side versus west side. It's ATL, 285, 75, 85, 400, 20. Listen, Falcons, Braves, Hawks, United, Dream, all same playing field, okay? Yes, United have a championship. Braves have one too. Okay, it's no different than, Hawks are trying. And I know you're
They
going
got
to have
one.
some snickers. St. Louis, but I'm talking about
We're gonna
Atlanta
claim it.
Hawks. All right, we're going to claim it. All
We're
right,
gonna claim it.
whatever. All
We're
right,
gonna claim
whatever.
it, man.
Listen, Falcons, they trying. But listen, I'm not going to put one in front of the other. Okay? Now, I don't know what's going on with who's a fan of what, where you from, where you born at. I can care less. You live here. You live here. You pay taxes here. And, when it comes to, the Atlanta Hawks in general, when you have Knicks fans, and I said Knicks fans because you guys are from New York and you came down here to Atlanta to gloat in our face because you felt like you were going to win, but you didn't. Now, get this. Check this out. They're now Hawks fans again. Oh, wow. Where did that come from? How did that happen? How did you become a Hawks fan? I only say that because you live here and I understand it and I get it totally. You wake up in the morning like everyone else. And at the end of the day, we all Atlanta. We all won. ATL. If you flew here or you grew here, it doesn't
Grew here.
matter.
We
So
ATL, man.
we
Under one
ATL.
flag. Under one
That's
flag, man.
it.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this here, man. And I can speak. I know I can speak for everybody on this show right now. Everybody on this show right now. We go hard for every team equally here in this city. I don't put anybody above anybody. When I fly for the Hawks, I fly for the Hawks. When I fly for the Falcons, I fly for the Falcons. When I fly for the Braves, I fly for the Braves. And let me tell you something. When I fly for United, I fly for United. Okay? This ain't got nothing to do with whatever somebody want to think it's about. I fly for all the teams in this city. I love sports and I fly for them. We're going to do it equally. And my thing is, I kind of get caught up a little bit when people want to, like Banks just said, try to make one fan base in this city bigger than another fan base in this city. I don't think that's fair to those of us that have been here and have been rolling with everybody. Like Banks said, we've said this once before, Banks. We put everybody on our back and roll with them equally, dog. If you in this city, we roll with them. We a sports fan. If you come, if we had a table tennis team in this city, we gonna rep for them, man, because we sports fans and that's what we do. So we gonna talk about we gonna talk. We gonna get it out. And that's what we do, man. And, I just had to get that off my chest and I just had to put it out there, man. Sometimes I kind of hold back a little bit, man, because I feel like, well, I don't want to upset nobody. I don't want nobody to say, oh, man, well, this, that, and the thing. Nah. I go for every team in this city hard equally. Every team. And everybody that knows me knows that's what I do. All day, every day. Derico does that, and I can vouch for Banks. He does that. We're gonna kick this out, man. We're gonna do another podcast here in just a moment. I done got fired up. Goddamn. I done got fired up about some stuff tonight, man. But look, we're gonna close this out, man. We proud of the Hawks and what they're doing, man, going in the game too. Hopefully, man, they can take another one up in Milwaukee. Derico, is glad to have you back, man. Tell everybody where they can catch you at,
Hey,
man.
appreciate it, my brother. You can catch me on the Twitter at VSU96SDD. And you can catch me on the IG, Instagram, at Derico Leo_Virgo. And if you can find me on Facebook, it'll be S Stacy Derrico.
Derrico, do you need a social media assistant
I
like
need one,
Banks
man,
do?
because I just sometimes I'd be like, man, what is it? I'd be so incognito sometimes. I'd be like, what is it today? But nah, but that's where you can catch me.
All right, man. Banks, tell everybody, man, where they can holler at you at, brother.
Before I do that, I want to give a shout out to the Braves, Atlanta Braves, with a 2-2 split over the New York Mets, who's now in Cincinnati tonight. Good luck, fellas. Shout out to the Atlanta Dream, who lost. They fought a valiant fight against Minnesota Lynx. And shout out to Atlanta United, who fell short against New York FC yesterday. So, yes, you can find me at BabyBanks80 on Twitter, and you can find me on BabyBanks80, same name, at Instagram. Antoine Jarrell Banks on Facebook. And if you hit me up, make sure you hit me on Messenger and not just passing by and thinking that I saw you. And I don't follow that closely on social media, so I'm trying.
He like the DMs. He like y'all going in his
You like
DM.
DM. It goes down in the man. Banks said, holler at him in the DMs, man. You know what, man? For real talk, man. Shout out to our Braves and shout out to our Dream as well, man. We're gonna have to bring a hold. I'm gonna see if I can get my man Reggie back, man. Shout out to Reggie over there at Gold Food to come back in. We're gonna talk about Atlanta United and what's going on over there with that team. And so Banks, definitely, man. So next time we record again, man, make sure we dig into the Braves and what's going on with them. It's hard. Like we talked about this in earlier podcasts, man. It's hard to try to get into this baseball, man. We got to get into like August, moving into September before we really start getting into the meat of it, man. It's a lot of.
You don't want to talk about it pre All-Star game? I mean, you mean to tell me?
We'll do it. We'll do it. All-Star game is coming up, man. Unfortunately, man, All-Star game got kicked out of this city. We ain't gonna get into that. But All-Star game won't be in this city, and there's some other little controversies going on with the All-Star game. Maybe
And
next
how
week we
dare
can
you
jump
not
on
want
it.
to talk about the Falcons before training camp?
Really? we spent some time on the Falcons. We'll get into the Falcons before training camp as well. I promise we will, man. So look, man, if you want to hit up the show, man, hit us up on Facebook, man. That's the Leo G Show on Facebook. Also, we're on Twitter. That's the Leo G Show, the number one on Twitter. The Leo G Show, the number one on Twitter. Also, you can hit me up on my personal Twitter page. That's at Southern Set with 2 T's. I'm on IG, but I be forgetting my IG handle. I'm somewhere on there. Maybe I'll post it in a link or something like that. Derrico, what?
You were just saying, just talking about me.
Maybe we all need social media assistants. I don't know, man. I might need a social media assistant to keep us up. But these young folk don't want to work, man. These young folk don't want to work, so I don't know. But that's a whole nother topic of conversation, man. Look, but yeah, hit us up on the show, man. Let us know what's up, man. And if it's any negative going on, y'all can hit Jay up or hit Banks up. They'll take all the smoke. If y'all don't. If y'all got something negative to say, don't holler at me about it. And they can hit Derrico be kind of incognito on social media, so I don't know if y'all can really find him like that. I know Banks and Jay, they want the smoke, but it is what it is.
And don't forget to hit that subscription, please.
Absolutely, man. Subscribe, man. Like and subscribe on all social media platforms, especially on YouTube, man. It don't cost you nothing, man. We doing this. I know it's a lot of stuff out there, man. But if you liking what we doing, man, if you listening to us, man, just hit subscribe, man. We really do appreciate it. There's a lot of content out there, man. But if you fall upon us, man, we really appreciate it. And so just subscribe to us, and that's what's up, man. Guys, fellas, it's been another edition. We're going to come back, man. We're going to bring some more passion. We're going to talk about the A. We're going to do what we do, man. It's been another edition of the Leo G Show, man. We'll holler at you guys.